Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Black Screen Who Do. My name is Stacy, and I will be your host for today. So this story is not going to be very long, going to be, kind of quick, maybe about 15 minutes, but I do believe it's something important that everyone needs to hear, solely because regardless of your race, gender, I just 100% believe that you need to learn when your ancestors are talking to you. Okay? Now, my ancestors always speak to me through forced thoughts. Okay? Not in dreams. Like I can count on one hand how many times they have spoken to me in a dream, and I will have fingers left over. All right? Um, is always forced thoughts. And I know if, when you first hear it, you're like, oh, Stacy, that sounds, kind of schizophrenic. And I know it sounds, schizo, but it's not. That's pretty much the only way I can tell you or I can say this. It's not. So anyway, their forced thoughts, like I said, are completely different from mine. I can tell when they're pushed in. And whenever that happens, I always, and I do mean always, listen to it. And it's normally 1 to 2 words like yes, no, move, run, stay, turn, things of that nature. Okay. So I'm going to tell you about the last time that they put a forced thought in my mind. And I know I'm going to say, and it saved me. But to be honest with you, it saved someone else's life because someone else would have died had they not come to me and that, the way that they did. So anyway, this happened on Mother's Day. And my spouse and I, we have been so busy for like the past 2 years, literally. Um, we've had our children, all of this. We really don't have time to ourselves, things of that nature. So our oldest son, he was like, hey, let me watch the girls for y'all. And, y'all can just have the day to yourselves. So we were very excited about that. We first go to Outback Steakhouse. And I'm not saying that Outback Steakhouse is like the best place to eat. I'm not. However, the fact that I did not have a 3-year-old beside me constantly putting her hands on my plate and trying to get my food, even though I asked her, did she want something off the regular menu or the kids menu? And she chooses the kids menu. But then I get my stuff and she wants it. And I tell her it's spicy and she doesn't believe me. So I let her taste it. And then her tongue is burning. And then she's mad. So then she wants to drink my entire virgin strawberry daiquiri because I try to stay away from liquor for the most part when the girls are around. Just to cool her tongue. And now that she's done that, she's full and she doesn't even want her food. We didn't have to deal with any of that. I was able to enjoy my steak, my shrimp, my chicken, the pasta, the salad, the loaded, baked sweet potato, the 2 glasses of liquor that I got. I enjoyed it. Even that bread they bring out to the table, I think I had 3 loaves. And listen, I've never told y'all that I'm fine, okay? I'm a fat bitch. All right. It is what it is. So anyway, we had that, we enjoyed it. It was great. So after that, we're like, okay, what are we going to do next? We don't want to spend any money. So we're going to go into a store. Why would we go into a store? Because me and my spouse, we have this thing where we will walk into a store, we'll get a basket, and we'll see something that we like. And we're like, oh, I want that. We put it in a basket. By the time we make it back around to the front of the store, we have talked ourselves out of at least 85% of the items in that basket. That's just something that we do. We enjoy it. Don't judge us. All right. We're middle aged. Damn it, we're just trying to have fun when we can. You feel me? Anyway, so we decide to go to Marshall's. I walk into Marshall's and we grab a basket. And I start with the purses. They go over to the wallets. Um, we're going back and forth, back and forth. We're making our way around. I go through like the food because they have like little specialty like oils and like olive oils and foods and stuff like that you normally don't get anywhere else. Did I need another Dutch oven? No, but I grabbed one and put it in the basket anyway because I didn't like the way that my Dutch oven did my last batch of sourdough bread. Just stuff like that. So finally, we make it over to, the kids' stuff, and we're looking at clothes and shoes for the girls. And one thing about where I stay, okay, now I'm in Mississippi, just a heads up for anyone here that's new. My car is black, but during spring and summertime, everyone's car is green. The pollen is that bad. I mean, these trees down here will whoop your ass. Like, you think you a bad motherfucker? No, you not. Like, it's horrible. So at this point, I can't breathe. All right, my nose is just that stuffed up. I cannot breathe. So I tell my spouse, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go to the restroom, blow my nose. I'll be back. They say okay. So I take my ass on to the restroom, and I need to describe to you what the hall looks like. Okay, that the restroom was on. Okay, this is very important for the story. So the restroom is at the very back of the store on the far right. I go to the hallway, and the very first sign that I see, and I am 5'7", okay? I'm 5'7". The very first sign that I see is men's, right? And y'all know it has that stick figure with the man with the head just kind of sitting on the shoulders. He really doesn't have too much of a neck. 2 arms, 2 legs. It's blue, right? I see it. It's right there in my face, and it is on the left. So me being, a woman, a girl, female, human, I'm like, okay, that's not for me, right? I look to the right. In this hallway, let's say it's about, it's a good little distance. I'm gonna say the hallway is about maybe 20, maybe 20 feet depth. Okay. All right. So I look to the right, and to the right, like in the middle of the hallway, is another door. Now it has a keypad on the front of it, so that lets me know that door is for the employees. Maybe it's their break room, maybe it's their office. I don't know, but I can't go in there. So I walk on down the hallway, and on the left, on the same side as the men's restroom, is a sign with a little stick figure woman in that same damn triangle dress that she's been in since I was born. Like, we're talking like back in the 70s. Like, she hasn't changed her clothes yet. That sign is sticking out, and it says women's. So this is the women's restroom. So I walk into the women's restroom. Now there's not a lock on the door because there's a stall. There are 2 stalls in this restroom. I go to the very first stall, and I just grab some tissue. And also, I want to say, when I first walked into this stall, someone went into that bathroom before me. They shitted, they wiped their ass, and they threw every single shitty tissue on the floor. Whoever did that, I just want to let you know, I hope your bowels never have peace. I hope you are always either constipated or always have diarrhea, because that was fucking low down. It was a toilet right there. You could have put it in the toilet. One of those employees had to come in after your nasty, ragged ass and clean that up. So may your bowels never have peace because you did that fuck shit. I hope you shit on yourself 3 times out in public and just embarrass yourself, because that was wrong. Anyway, so I get the tissue, and of course I step out of that stall because I'm not going to stand in that stall and blow my nose. In addition to that, I'm not going to go into the other stall because someone else may come into the restroom and may have to actually use the toilet. It doesn't make any sense for me to be, sitting there, or standing there rather, taking up space. So I go over near the trash can, which is by the door. Again, the door is not locked, okay? Because there are stalls. I blow my nose, and Right after I finish blowing my nose, I'm about to throw the tissue in the garbage. My ancestors, and with their forced thoughts, I hear one word, and that word is prepare. And I'm like, prepare? Like, that's weird as hell. What the fuck do that mean, prepare? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, I'm trying to, of course my mind immediately goes to workings. Like I need to do another working. Like, I'm caught up on my root working and stuff like that for the month, because I have set days and times where I do certain things. I'm like, I'm good. What are they talking about? Well, um, like I said, I put the tissue in the garbage, and I'm gonna go wash my hands because that's the polite thing to do. You wash your hands after doing something like that. So I'm walking over to the sink, and I hear prepare now. And this time it is so forceful that my head tingles a little bit. And in a matter of seconds, I'm thinking, oh my God, something is wrong. Something is about to happen to my spouse. I have got to get to my spouse. Because, let's be honest, y'all, okay? Let's be honest. Over here in this country, we have like a lot of mass shootings, things like that. That is exactly what my mind went to. I was like, oh my God, my spouse is out there. They're out there alone. I cannot lose my spouse because, I absolutely love my spouse. You have no idea. Like, I can't even describe how much I love them. And I'm like, I cannot lose them. Okay. We're not old. We're not in our 90s. All right. We're in our 40s. Okay. I cannot lose them. This is too young. So I'm freaking out. I'm like, I got to get to them. So I go to the door. I reach to open the door because the door, like when you're coming in, you push it open. So of course, for me to get out, I have to pull it back. When I reach to pull the door back, the door opens and I step back a little bit, and it's this guy, like this Hispanic looking dude. Really look Mexican, but whatever. And I look at him and I automatically think, and I know this is wrong, it's probably pretty biased, but I'm like, shit. I'm like, he probably can't read English and he's coming to the wrong restroom, right? Like, I didn't think he was doing anything bad or being, malicious. So I smiled because I do have a resting bitch face, okay? I do. I have a resting bitch face. So I smiled and I was like, I'm like, this is the women's restroom. I'm like, the men's restroom is that way. And I point. Now I'm still in the bathroom, but I'm pointing in the direction of the men's restroom. He looks back, like into the hallway. And I'm thinking, oh yeah, he's looking, to look at the sign. And I'm still walking forward because clearly the man is about to leave and go to the men's restroom. The man looks back at me and he smiles. And y'all, that smile, he had an impulse. That man had an impulse and he had to follow that impulse. He could not go against that impulse. The look that he gave me, the smile that he gave me, he wanted to hurt me. He wanted to do something to me. So he walks forward, like takes a step forward. I take a step back. And here's the thing. Again, I know y'all talk about Mississippi. We're the poorest state. We're the dumbest state. We're the most backward ass state. But one thing that we do have that's perfect is the right to carry. Okay? Even if we go into, like, if you go into a store down here in Mississippi and if they say no weapons allowed on the premises, we ain't listening to that shit. We have our guns on us, okay? If you have a store and it's 100 people in that store, guarantee you 72 of them have a gun somewhere on their person, all right? So since he smiled, I see that look on his face. I already know what's about to go down, and he steps towards me. I immediately pull my gun on him. I have a gun on me. I have it on my side. You can't see that I have it because, I don't really wear revealing type clothes out in public. I just had on some jeans, a t-shirt, and some chucks. I pulled that gun on him. He immediately steps back and all of a sudden is acting like, oh, restroom, men's restroom. Nah, that wasn't it, bro. That wasn't it. You had an impulse. And with that impulse, you couldn't fight it. You was gonna come in, you was gonna do something. So, long story short, police got called. And I don't want this to be taken as like, yeah, this is why we got to get these immigrants out the country, because this is the second time it's happened to me. And the first time it happened to me, it was a homegrown American ass man. And in that particular case, he didn't get to me because there was another man around that saw him follow me in the restroom and came in the restroom and just whooped that man's ass. I think I was like 14 or 15 years old at the time, and I was at the park. So, don't take this video and try to use it for some propaganda shit about, hey, we need to get rid of the immigrants. No, what we need to do is get rid of abusive and predatory men and women, all right? Because women will do that fuck shit too. But the fact that my ancestors were telling me to prepare, and that kind of set me up to where I saw him, but I still had in the back of my mind prepare. And I immediately went to that, because if they had said prepare, and I ignored it, I would have been washing my hands when he walked in that bathroom. And I'm not saying that he would have gotten me, you know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, yeah, he's a man. He's physically stronger than me. But, baby, that gun would have been, he would have had a bullet in his stomach or somewhere for sure. So, that's just a story of something that happened. And I just wanted to tell y'all, how my ancestors stepped in and they protected me. How that happened, how that looks. So if you're on your journey, right, and you're trying to connect with your ancestors, really pay attention to your thoughts and your surroundings. If you hear a voice that tells you, no, don't go in there, and you go in there and then you slip and fall, you understand what I'm saying? Or if you hear a voice that says, make a right, and you're walking down the street and you decide to make a right, and you walk up on $100 bill on the ground. Okay, you need to start paying attention to that so that you can get your ancestors' language. Okay? All right, so that is the story for today. Yes, he was arrested. I think he is documented, honestly, because no one hit me up about him, being undocumented. But, he's arrested. All of that is taken care of. I'm safe. He's safe. I'm not saying that that's a relatively good thing. I mean, I didn't go and get licensed to carry so that I could hurt people or so that I could kill people. Like, that's something I don't want to do. But when I pulled that gun, I was ready to use it. Had he taken another step, that man would have caught one in the chest. So, so again, just listen to your ancestors, okay? Pay attention to things, because they may be guiding you literally on your day-to-day, and you need to take advantage of that, okay? In this world, you have got to take advantage of that. It does not matter your race, your gender, your sexual orientation, your religion. It does not matter, because regardless, the fact that you are who you are, there is somebody that wants to harm you just because you are who you are. Okay? All right. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this off now, and I will be back later with another story. I'm probably going to talk about a coworker of mine that passed away. She was a sweet girl, and how I had to actually go to another practitioner to do the proper ritual so that she could leave out and do what she needed to do on the other side. So y'all have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you later. Bye.